Call this meeting to order.
Printer involved, so we know it's serious.
Did you do a roll call?
No.
No.
Here's my qualifications. I really want the job.
Can't
You're
watch
probably the
this.
only one.
Notice the color printing.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-oh, here it goes.
Are you nervous or what?
All right, let's call this meeting to order. Happy's done roll call. Did you notice Zomer?
We have a quorum.
We have a quorum, so it's official. Zomer had other meetings to attend to, so he apologizes and wishes he was here. We would like to welcome Gary Roth, our newest member. As we all know, he's got plenty of experience and knowledge and everything for the past years, working with St. Genevieve and the Parks Department, the Street Department, everything, all that good stuff. And been a liaison to our park board too, so this will be good. All right, can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
Make a motion.
A second. All right, Public Works report.
Oh, you gotta vote on it.
Vote.
Sorry.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
All opposed?
Motion passes.
Okay, motion passes. So our last meeting was in November, so we might have a little bit of catching up to do too, just to say everybody Happy New Year. It's 2023. Some planets are aligning outside. The moon is beautiful. It's going to be a good year. Okay, right, Happy? All right. Now do we go to Public Works?
Yep.
Do we have a report from anybody at Public Works? Or it's
Do
not here.
you have anything?
Well, apparently the meeting's not supposed to start till 7 according to City Hall's agenda.
That's what I was going to bring up to you too.
So we need to figure out,
My agenda says 6:30. You guys?
say mine says
well, like on the
6:30.
actual calendar, Steve pulled it up today and it says 7 on it.
Oh, this is the
Steve-
community calendar that Pam sends out
Yeah.
to
Oh,
So,
department heads and
Oh.
Board of Aldermen.
That's
I
what I
haven't paid any
wanted,
attention to that.
and I saw that as well tonight, because I
but
was,
we did get surveillance cameras up for at Valley Springs Park and then for at Main Street bathrooms. It's all recording, so if we ever get any vandalism, hopefully we can pinpoint it a little bit easier and figure out who did it.
so in
Hopefully it
case
just
they,
deters everybody.
so you said surveillance cameras are up at
Valley Springs Park
Valley Springs Park
and at Main Street bathrooms.
and the Main Street
Yeah, We put
bathrooms.
4 cameras on each building, pretty much able to capture any angle we need, all the doorways. So if somebody goes in there and breaks a sink, hopefully we can review the footage and at least know how many people were involved and have a better idea versus just walking into stuff broke all the time, so.
Were there any other hot spots we were talking about wanting to have some, or was that
I think that was about.
mainly at the Valley Springs bathroom, I would guess, was the main
That's where
one?
we've had most of our problems, Valley Springs.
Well, that's good news. Do you know anything else that's going on?
Grass ain't growing, so we haven't been doing much in the parks, so.
And restrooms in Pierre Marquette are closed.
Yeah. Valley Springs is closed, Pear Marquette, so Main Street's the only bathroom open. So,
Okay. All right, so we need to work on that 7 o'clock time
We'll
thing,
go
and
back
I
to
noticed
6.
that today. It's 6,
Did you see that on City Hall's website? Is that where you went
Yeah.
to go? Yeah, okay, so it's the community
6:30 was a
calendar
compromise.
that Pam sends out at the
Was
beginning
it
of
one
the
at
month,
7,
I
either
guess.
one at 6?
Well, I think
Or
part of
Sue,
the reason
yeah.
it's 7 was, she doesn't even come, Samantha was the reason we moved it to 7, right?
We always had it
Yeah.
at 7. That was our normal
Yeah.
time for decades, but
all right.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Well, we can change that too.
Uh,
You know, I don't know where in the order of this business that could happen, but if we all want to change that again, we just need to all agree on a good time and let everybody know, so. All right. So, moving on to old business. Master Plan Committee reports, fundraising committee.
we're working on it. We'll have something hopefully next month.
Okay, and the Trail Committee?
So we have
We got the grant from the state, we're working ourselves along, doing the environmental plan assessment. That has been sent into Missouri Division of Natural Resources for their review. That you'll see come out of your budget, about $2,000 for the engineering part of it, to review what potential endangered species could be affected. So we did most of the work in-house, but we had to do some of it outside because we don't have the expertise, and they want somebody that's qualified to give that information. So that's been submitted. We've put out for an engineer. We send it out to 5 different agencies as required by DNR for this grant. We received 1 response, and that was what I put on the table from Cochrane. We contacted DNR about that, saying we only received 1. We believe they're qualified. Their submittal matched all of our requirements. They checked with the federal government because it was just 1 that we received. We didn't have to go through the process of judging and selecting. They were good with it. So at this point, we're asking them for an agreement and the necessary additional paperwork that the federal highway requires for them to send to us, and we can send it to them. And then if they approve that, then we will send it to the board for approval. So there's a number of steps still to go through, but we did at least get the step.
For the engineering step,
We have progress.
Yeah.
yes, okay.
That's the key thing.
Yeah. So we're moving along.
So we're just waiting to hear back, and then we'll eventually get it back to us? Is that when you said the board, or which board?
Board of Aldermen.
Okay,
Board of Aldermen will approve the expenditure.
that's great. Thank you so much.
Well, it hasn't passed yet. Don't thank me
Let's feel
until,
positive. We got it going.
He doesn't get a vote.
All right, track that list taken. All right, playground committee?
So I touched base with Kendra between holidays, I guess it was, earlier this year. We're still at a standstill until we understand more about this section of trail. We have no idea exactly what elevations we can bring that playground in, because it's gonna, with the surfacing that we want to include, it's gonna have to be a level area instead of built on the hillside. So we're gonna really need to have a better understanding of where that hill or the pathway elevations come in. So when I touched base with her, I let her know where we were with the grant process and the RFQ that we received. And so she just mentioned to me to pass along her contact information to whoever will do our trail engineering in case they have questions regarding the playground in that area and things. So we'll keep the contact going there, but as far as getting anything planned, I wouldn't expect anything coming this first half of the year.
Oh, well, I had suggested, I'd talked to Gary too, that I would like to get another meeting outside of this meeting with the playground people, just to touch base, see what's going on, get some ideas on, just keep it moving, you know.
Well, we have the general renderings and stuff like that, but we really have no idea exactly what kind of space that we'll have by the time we level it out, because that's a pretty steep hill from that, between the pavilion to the restrooms. I mean,
that.
you might only have room for a swing set and a slide versus that. So I would just caution against scheduling too many meetings, potentially wasting other people's time
Yeah.
for us to change plans later when we get actual
I'm just
information
curious
back.
too, since there is so much grade in that area, I mean, are we still just stuck on that area? I know it's in the plan, the park plan, but why couldn't we potentially be looking at the other areas for the playgrounds and just, that's why I'm talking about having a meeting for that,
Well,
just to see if we could start some fundraising or something for another bigger playground.
I mean, you can. You're
I
also,
thought this was do the big pavilion, the new pavilion, and the playground up on top.
yeah, and get that whole area set and ready to
To do
go.
the first thing to show that we're, progressing in the park, Just to do something
Yeah.
new, not redo something
Yeah.
that's already there.
Because, I mean, Kendra gave us those books that you have, so you can get ideas for what you want there. But you're gonna run into some of the, like, if you're talking about like the adventure playground area, we're gonna be running into some of the same issues there. You wanna make sure that the elevations and stuff are all engineered for that, for what you're wanting. So it's gonna be a while till we get to that part of the path as well.
The trail don't go through the flat part up there. Where the pool was, it goes around it, I'm
No,
sure.
the adventure playground would be on the hillside of the north, west corner of the soccer field. There's a smaller playground
Right,
set
right.
up for that plateau up there by the pool. But even still there, you're talking about also putting a building up there, with the concessions and the restroom and stuff. So there's,
But that'd be cheaper to build that pavilion and them bathrooms than it's gonna be to buy that precast.
and that could be another area that we talk about
That's why
moving
it's-
forward, but.
Yeah, I just think
um,
maybe a playground meeting, just to discuss all these things in general.
I agree with
You know, so we have some future plans. I mean, we know we're still waiting on that path and the grant and all that for that area up there, but I've just too, yes, sir.
I think that's a good idea. I would invite Nick to that meeting, because it would be helpful to have his
Right.
perspective on whatever we want to do to change the plan. Not that we shouldn't, but we should at least
Right.
have his opinion.
I agree, okay.
When you're talking precast, are you talking about the bathrooms?
Isn't that what you got planned up on the hill,
Yeah,
is a precast one?
yeah.
I'm sure that whole pavilion can be built down up on the other side, what the precast would be.
I was just trying to know which one you weren't talking precast with the pavilion, with the big pavilion, you're just
No.
talking, just building.
The one up where the trail's gonna be, when you talking about a precast up there between the basketball court and the big pavilion?
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, I think we're gonna split them into like two smaller ones, one there and then one down, where the old both old bathrooms, replacing both of those and upgrading them.
And then for the building up on where the pool used to be, in the plan, it was kind of discussed as a corporate pavilion that would have a warming kitchen. And that part of the building would include a restroom with a covered seating area on the outside. So there's some planning to figure out what y'all would want as a structure there.
situated.
Yeah.
There was a really good one in Jeff City. I'll have to dig up pictures. It's exactly what you were talking about. And it had a playground attached to it too, and it was not too big, not too small, and it was feasible, but those are nice options to have, and you'll get a lot more activity up there with that, rentals and stuff. And that's when you would make some money off rentals, because there's water, there's heat, there's food, there's everything. It's like outside kitchen, basically.
Yeah, I mean, the more you can make a newer structure like that, if you can make it more all season,
Mhm.
it's really gonna, I think the community could really
Benefit from it.
benefit from that, so we don't have a lot of those opportunities
Right.
around here for something like
Wasn't
that.
there
gonna
a
add
splash
some
pad
parks.
supposed to be up there? A splash pad next to the new pavilion?
As of right now, yes, that's the
I mean,
location.
I think a playground would probably work a lot better than, because like you said, make it
That would be all
All
season.
Well,
all season, you know,
Yeah.
a splash pad's only gonna be utilized.
Well,
during the
all
summer
three features are written in there, but the sizing and all that stuff is open to changes, and then it's really about narrowing down what you want to provide for the community and what you feel bring the best value in that area.
Yeah.
So, and because there might be some other options too with moving that stuff or wherever as we get into those discussions.
Well, if you guys later, I can touch base with people if we want to find out a date just to reconnect on that, that would be good. All right, bathroom committee, anything to report?
Happy, do we know who has the, with those precast restrooms, don't we go through like the Missouri estate site? with
Missouri
that?
Cooperative Purchasing, I don't remember who the.
I didn't know who got the contractor, if it was at CRX or something like that. I think they have in the past.
And is that another thing that has to wait till that trail gets put in?
We have
Yeah,
to,
I would recommend the same
we
thing.
Yeah.
need to know the elevations because we especially want to make that pathway from that trail to the restrooms accessible. as accessible as possible, and then I think with the funding that we reserved, we've got till 2024 with that, right?
Okay.
We're gonna be allocated by 2024, we don't have to spend it until 2026.
So we have to have our plans,
Spend it by when?
2026, yeah. Okay.
and then the trail was 2020.
When it's going, I'd say 2024.
Yeah, I was trying to think of the last date, I think it's 2025, we have to have that in place.
And I might remind everyone, it's 2023.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome. I mean, those dates still to me seem so far off, but it's not.
But this year would be a lot of planning, not a lot of construction.
Right. Okay, Main Street Park. That was December. We need to get there and get that flower bed around the,
I was looking
I've
at it
been-
yesterday.
I've been wanting to go cut it all down. I've been so busy at the street department. We've been doing a lot of
That's
remodeling.
okay.
I can just grab my lawnmower and go down there.
It
and
drives
mow
me nuts every time
I know, and Mark and I usually keep up on that stuff.
I'll just grab my mower and just go down there and mow it. Won't
Yeah,
take
it
but a
just needs to
minute,
be knocked down,
Yeah.
ground level.
as long as we don't get somebody to go down there and pull weeds again.
Well, I pulled some weeds, but I
No,
don't-
you know what the weeds were though. We had a situation once before that
Well,
they
and
went down and
we,
pulled the weed, and they pulled everything up out of there.
Yeah.
I thought too that we were leaving it too for like pollinators and insects to winterize in, so, you know, there was a purpose for all that to still be there,
Yeah.
for
But-
nature's sake,
Yeah, there you go.
for nature's sake. All right,
Oh, no. There's something about the switch.
we did the Christmas to get together at a break, that's good. All right, new business, is that where I go over to this DTS, the tree planting?
Yep.
Okay. All right, if you go back over to agenda and the new business, Ashley, what do you have to report on this?
Downtown St. Genevieve group reached out to Happy and myself about planting a tree in memory of a resident. I met with Robbie. They originally were thinking about a tree for Frank Myers down in the River Gauge Park
That'd be nice.
area. I met with Robbie and we kind of talked about the different parks and what's going on. He's going to, Robbie Pratt, he's going to get back together with the group, the organization, and go through details. So they don't have anything to present today, but it might be on another agenda. Because with the tree dedications and stuff, we were kind of talking about the different parks. Yeah, about a decade ago, I guess, River Gauge Park was dedicated as River Gauge Park, but it's not really been developed into what those plans were, and I don't,
I have the plans home.
I've seen the YouTube dedication, so I know what it's supposed to look like,
Right.
but I don't know where all that went with the initiatives. But there's some different trees down there now that aren't planned with that original plan, and so he
I
was,
thought they were.
well, they're not sure or whatever. They were just gonna
I know they
reevaluate
planted
where
some long tree.
Don't be cutting out my trees down.
I'm not
But,
touching them.
so they're gonna talk about whether that was the park. They looked at Main Street Park, but that's a little,
That's what he's.
it's really symmetrical right now, and there's not a lot of room. Obviously, there's a lot of room in Pierre Marquette Park, but with all the changes that we're looking to see, you risk putting a tree somewhere and it not being the best place long-term, or getting the care or attention that it needs because, you know, maybe gets hit by a construction truck or something, and, you know, you don't want to have those conversations if you can avoid them.
So where are they thinking?
They were gonna reevaluate and try to come up, because they'll also, I'm sure you guys would want to know what kind of tree they were gonna plant and things like that.
Two things. Frank was very much associated with fighting the 93 flood, so I think something in the
Right.
floodplain area would be very appropriate. Also, his son is a landscape architect. I assume he's involved in these discussions, if
Yeah,
it makes
he's
sense.
the one that
He was-
designed.
He designed
River
it,
Gauge
right.
Park.
Right, so
And that's why I
I,
think some
So
of
they
those
were just
trees,
gonna regroup
some of his
and
thinking,
decide where to
some of those
move.
trees that were planted.
Now
on the
that,
creek
because
beds.
Robbie didn't have all that information whenever he reached out to us, so I gave him what information I had on the
is
park.
Lawrence a member of the downtown group, I assume?
I don't know
Yes.
if he is anymore
His
or
name
not.
came up when I was talking to Robbie, so
Okay.
I know he used to
It
be.
just, he is a landscape
He wasn't
architect,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Robbie can take back what information he has now, and they can go through and kind of fine tune what they want to do and bring it back to you all for,
He was also on the levee board
Mhm.
for a long
Long
time.
time.
Busy guy.
Speaking of Main Street Park, wasn't there, if I recall, wasn't there that back section of that we were wanting to try to appropriate? Remember?
River Gauge Park.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a,
because the lot
Small
next door
plat.
comes down and goes across the back, correct?
yep, yeah, yeah.
And
That
Barr
makes
was
an-
gonna talk to,
I did, and they,
So somebody else owns it now.
yeah,
Yeah.
somebody else
So-
owns it, and I did approach them about it,
The new
and,
people?
yeah, and he
Oh.
was, well, let's talk, and she was, no, I don't want to, so
Oh,
I
Okay.
haven't talked back with them.
Okay.
But it would be nice if we could own that all the
Straight-
way
all the way
back to
back.
the levee, because that part of the levee is still there, and that would be,
it would be cool. It'd be a neat
But-
backdrop, yeah.
yeah, because I did try and
Okay.
talk to the,
I was thinking it was,
Yeah.
I didn't realize they had owned it. then.
it's a
I thought it was somebody
made-to-order
else.
interpretive facility.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
We just need to, you know,
Speaking
get our
of-
paws on it.
I'll talk to her.
Do you have
talked to her?
signs?
Yeah,
We were
Just
talking
bring
about
that
that,
up.
that's just weird.
there's two of them river gate signs, like that's on the pole, that are supposed to go on either side of
Yeah, I knew
that
that.
information
Yeah,
box.
Yeah.
One's a pre-levy and one's a post-levy. They wanted, well, I redid them back then for Bob Mueller, I don't know what group that was. But they want to move them over there because when a bus pulls up, they can't see the one on the pole. So they want to, they can look out the side windows at them. But those were made in there somewhere.
But we were going also, in the original plan on that, along the creek, not real part of the creek, but along the edge, and we were going to do the telephone poles.
Yeah,
And it was going to be the height
The
that
height
the
of-
water
yeah.
was.
Oh,
For
okay.
that year, and we were going to put the year on each, on the poles.
Gotcha.
What happened to all of that? I mean, you guys keep
and we
talking
raised
about
money,
this.
and I have no idea what it went.
I know,
well, I
where,
believe at the time the group, the organization was Downtown Renewal Project, and I think they were spearheading a lot of the fundraising efforts, according to the dedication video that I
That
found
could
on
have been.
YouTube.
Yeah. So I don't know what they did with the money that was dedicated for it. I have no idea. We came up with the plan, Mark and I worked on the plan, and downtown said, we'll take it over, we'll help develop it. And they basically dropped the ball, took the money, I have no idea what happened.
And like the
I think they
gazebo.
still have some of the funds set according to Robbie, but I don't want to speak for them.
Right.
well, and back to the signs that you were speaking of, are those of importance? I mean, are they somebody's? Were they just the park department? Was it the cities? Who was doing those signs?
I don't know, I mean, I made them.
Gary made
City.
them.
Right, because we
But I
redid
don't know- I
them.
don't know what group that was for, you, that Bob Mueller would be heading.
It was before us, because I don't think
Yeah,
anything's
that
come up
was,
since
that
I
was
was here.
before, that was before y'all were here. That was, golly.
That was just probably
That's when, let me think,
When did you make them?
those signs, boom.
I don't know, finish from
When did they do?
summertime.
I mean, this past year?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what, I don't know what you're thinking of. That's why I thought there's a little bit
Yeah, I
of
just
confusion going on
made
here.
a replica, the exact same as that one, and another one.
which one?
The one that's
on
on
the
there.
telephone pole that's got all the heights.
Gotcha, okay.
That one over there, and then there's one that's post-levy, what the heights of some
Oh,
of
right.
the river has been since the levee's been in there.
Right.
Now, who was wondering if they could move them? Or was that what you were talking about? Or you were just saying you had these signs and
They're
then,
made, I was gonna have them put, get them put up, and then Steve wanted us to hold up till they got done with that creek crossing water project, not knowing, what was gonna take place in that area. So now that that's all done, those are ready to go up before they get messed up.
so should we approach somebody or does somebody want to be aware of that or?
I think
Anybody?
he's writing it down.
We can
It's
Okay.
a-
Steve,
No,
Yeah, we'll
figure it out. If we
What
need to
is-
come back next meeting, we can come back next meeting with something. But
Okay.
otherwise we can
here, the
figure
sign
it
that's
out.
in there, that's there now, is that still up?
Mhm.
Is there anything in that? Or can you even read anything that's in there anymore?
Oh,
There's
the
nothing.
information box?
Yeah.
I don't think there's.
Oh, no.
It's empty. It was,
Okay.
I don't know what it was removed.
But
It's
it'd
been a
be,
couple
it'd be neat
years.
to have photos of like the flood of '93.
Well, there was a
Something
poster.
there.
Yeah,
there was a poster.
It was a
in
flood
there.
of
There was a
93
couple of
poster.
them down there somewhere.
And you're talking about like in the kiosk thing?
Yeah.
Not the sign?
No, no,
Okay,
it's the sign-
you're,
the
okay,
kiosk.
you're confusing me. You're jumping
That's
all
not hard
over.
to do.
Okay. All righty then.
Onward then.
My thought was to use two of them aluminum light poles to anchor them on. Because, I mean, the sign's gonna hide it all.
Yeah.
You never have to worry about it, then put some composite boards across it.
2x4 is not gonna last. It'll go some
Right.
twisting.
I mean, there's 30-something of them down there, may as well cut them off from the top end down.
All right,
And if,
well,
if they want any of my thoughts on it when they get ready to do it, I'm more than happy to kind of oversee it with them.
okay, and on the business of trees, as you all know, I recently lost Ginger, my sweet, sweet little girl, and I would like to plant a tree in her honor as well. We love the park, we love Valley Springs Park, but Valley Springs has plenty of trees. I would like to put something up in the big park, because we hung out up there a lot too. So if I need to get approval for that or permission, I would like to stay with the native tree because it is Missouri and I just want to do a native tree. And I would check with you too to make sure it's not going to get in any way.
I
Of any
planted
holes or
10 trees
something.
last year, if you want to just use one of those trees and put
No,
a.
I appreciate that, but I
You wanna-
think,
Okay.
yeah, just something for her. So if
Well, I
that's,
plan on picking up more trees this year too,
okay,
but where the old RC track was, we're gonna clean that all out, and that's where we're gonna start putting our mulch and, have like a little rock pile there, like, we're actually gonna put Lego blocks in there and make bins, so it looks a little better than just a big pile of mulch sitting there. But I'm wanting to make a spot where I can get like 10, 20 trees this year and actually grow them there for a few years versus trying to plant them and then having to water
Water,
them
yeah.
and like going all over the park trying to water them. I can take care of them all right there. Once they get big enough, put them in the ground wherever, so.
I know where there's
That's
some real
kind
big
of the
ones.
game
Yeah.
right now.
I know
yeah.
Cover the whole park.
we got some trees you can have,
Which
a whole
one?
bunch of them.
Where?
Right
Tree
across,
farm.
if you go across Market Street, the tracks,
Oh.
Market Street, there's a
Yeah.
tree farm down there.
Yeah.
That's what that started out to be.
Oh, I got you.
They,
But I
never-
think they're too big though.
yeah,
Yeah,
they
you did.
went entirely.
Yeah,
They never quite made it to the park. I'm
You,
just being
what were you
sarcastic.
gonna say?
Some of them
When you-
river birds down there.
if you're
I
gonna
mean,
do this,
They're beautiful. Oh, they're pretty. There
planting,
might be, I think there's a few
I
hawthorns
would
in there.
consult with the
I
plant and
love
try to
hawthorn.
avoid
That might be
conflict
able to
with
use
that.
still.
I know there's
And,
some cherry trees in there.
I don't think we want to encourage people in general to just plant trees
Right.
free range. We need to have some kind of a process for improving the site. Not that we need that for you, but anybody else that
Well,
would come
yeah, I
along.
understand.
Yeah.
And I think a good goal too, looking at other areas of the plan, yet that west entrance of the park is all planned to be naturescaped, essentially, across there from Grimminger's, between that and
That
JC. That's all planned to be naturescaped with trails going in there. You'll have hole 6 and 7 going through there disc golf wise. But we're looking at the native planting growing up. There's probably, I would guess that there's a lot of great opportunity to put some good trees on that hillside as well. So it might be a good goal this year to begin speaking with whoever our representative is from Missouri Conservation and figure out how to get that process going in that area. I had talked with Nick and Mary in the past, just casually, and that was one of the areas she's like, Mary had suggested to me, that's something that we can probably start moving on that wouldn't have that would have a big effect on the park without having to,
Get into the
getting
infrastructure.
into needing engineering and things like
Is that
that.
that hillside that you're going up, like,
It's by the radio station.
It's that whole area between the radio station
okay,
and the
that, yeah, okay,
entrance,
that's what I'm talking about, okay.
and JC Drive
Right,
there. There was supposed to be some natural walking paths in there. Once that all grows up, you kind of carve out some walking
Gotcha,
paths
okay.
for like what do they call it, interpretive,
Interpretive walk.
And I could
It would be
even,
great.
That's when.
butterfly areas, things like that, nature studies.
even if not like planting a tree, even maybe dedicating one of the stations, the dog stations to her too.
Sure.
That way it wouldn't start a trend of
And you
everybody.
could put a sign on there, it's like ginger, it says, pick up.
Yeah, the ginger fairy.
There's already dedicated trees at Paramark
Yeah,
that have signs with little plaques and
Yeah.
stuff like that, so.
but anyway, she was just a big part of that park and the park board. So,
We'll get it figured out later.
okay, let's move
a
on.
great
So
idea.
Don't get waterworks started, that's a whole nother department. Okay, let's move on. What do we got left here?
New business.
Any other business?
Where you want to change the time of the meetings?
Yeah, does anybody, can we do that?
Well, I
At a
finally got
meeting?
used to the new time.
I don't know what the problem, it's 6:30 and the date bad, is Monday nights okay? Let's go there.
Yeah, Mondays is fine.
The time,
I prefer 6 if we could, but I say the earlier the better.
Sometimes this is going to cut into the evenings.
is 6 o'clock all right? Can we do this, or do we need to keep it at 6:30? Somebody jump in on this.
Well, the last time this issues were 7 is too late because, you know, people want to get home and watch TV, I guess. And 6 was too early because you couldn't eat before 6, mostly. So we settled on 6:30 as a compromise. I don't know if it's the right compromise, but that was the discussion.
Doesn't make me a difference.
Is 6:30 still okay with everybody?
I mean, it's fine with me. I mean,
Fine with me.
I think it's part of it.
Should we take a vote?
Don't matter to me.
All in favor of 6:30? Raise your hands, say aye.
I'm fine with 6.
Okay, then let's just,
Better than 7.
that's fine, I agree.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
sometimes they go an hour, hour and a half, you know.
Right.
Time the same.
So let's keep it at 6:30, and that does need to get changed. How do
We'll
we,
talk with City
somebody?
Hall. It's just, it's the community calendar.
Yeah.
I don't even know that a lot of people know where to find it, but we do need to get changed.
And it's also when you go to the website and hit Parks and Recreation, it clicks over and it says every Monday
Oh,
at
okay.
7 p.m. I just saw that
On
tonight,
the
too.
list of board meetings and stuff, too.
We don't have control over it. We have to call and ask somebody to do it, so.
For the website, yeah.
All right. Okay, any other business?
Just let you know that the next meeting we'll be voting on chair, vice chair, because we haven't had an election in a while.
I see Miss Chair sitting up there.
So, no, I really don't want this chair anymore, like that chair. It's got my name on it, but how do we do that? Do we wait till the next meeting?
Yes.
And then
It's an agenda.
elect people and stuff like that?
Yep.
We don't, okay, that's definitely gonna happen. And like Ashley had mentioned, we'll do it the yearly at the same time
We're
as,
supposed to do it every February. That's what has been done. And
forever.
yeah, for whatever.
Or we could do it in April, like with the other elections.
No.
So this gives you a month to start campaigning. You put your signs out, you start making phone calls, do a little fundraising.
And you can use my yard
You're right
for
on that.
signs if you like. And
We need to.
are you just
Copy
sitting
that.
in, ma'am?
Oh,
Would you
sorry.
like to introduce yourself?
No, just interested.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sitting in. Would you like to introduce
Oh,
yourself?
I'm sorry. I'm Susie Johnson, Alderman for Ward 1. I think I know most of you. Nice to see you all, and thank you for continuing to serve on this board. It's appreciated.
Well, good to see you again.
Thank you.
All right. Anything else, folks? So we, just to be on the same page, we will meet next month February, the 27th is the fourth Monday at 6:30 PM.
Bingo.
Okay,
All right.
got it? All right. Anyone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All right.
Nice.
Well done, well
I'll
done.
press 30.